Hey Barons, November just ended, so it's time to meet November's Fly Barons of the Month, Nadav and Alice. So, why don't you guys start by telling me, what do you guys do? What have you guys done for the school?
So, through the leadership class, we started the Green Initiative, and we're currently in the process of changing the school's light bulbs from the current fluorescent ones to LED. And as well, we're going to be changing the light fixtures. We're going to be putting in motion detectors and light harvesting sensors, which is just all going to bring down our energy consumption and just be better for the environment.
So what is daylight harvesting?
So it's a very good question. Daylight harvesting is essentially when you replace the normal light fixtures that we have in very well-lit areas with well-lit natural light with fixtures that essentially they monitor the natural light that comes in from the windows, for example, in our atrium, and then they essentially fix how high or low the kind of wattage is.
Yeah, the brightness of the lights.
The brightness of the lights, and so conserving energy while we're already conserving energy because they are LED lights.
Yeah, it's just like, it pretty much just senses the amount of natural light coming into the room and then it adjusts the brightness of the light to match, to make it like an equal amount of light with what's coming in, so we don't have to overuse the lights. And so it doesn't make the room like any dimmer or any darker or anything like that. It makes it just exactly what it would be, just minus the extra light coming from the light bulbs, which is not used because there's already the natural light in there. So throughout the whole day, the lights will just be kind of like dimming themselves according to the light coming into the room.
So how did you guys get started on this project? When did you really start this idea, or how did you come up with, working on LED lights?
Well, last year, a friend of mine, through the leadership class, changed got the LK water fountains, which are the motion sensed water fountains for water bottles. And then so I was just thinking about I wonder what I could do. And then towards the end of last year, I just thought wow, it'd be really cool to change the light bulbs because it makes a huge impact. And then this year I took leadership and was just pretty much given a platform and opportunity to do any kind of project I wanted to, and that's the project I wanted to do. So that's where it started pretty much.
So I also am in the leadership class, and we're both part of the environmental team within the leadership class. And when Nadav kind of proposed this idea for changing the light bulbs, I really thought it was this revolutionary subtlety, I guess you could say. It's not the flashiest of ideas, but the numbers that we have actually came up with are, what would you say? They're
huge, yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty astounding.
I mean, from the initial estimate where we just were going to switch around 600 lights, which was pretty much just the basement, that was going to save the school $130,000 in the lifetime of those light bulbs. And that was just the basement, and now we're doing a lot more than just the 600 lights. At this point, I don't know what it will be now because it's probably going to double, but we'll have to see. But yeah, that was just for the basement. It will save the school $130,000.
So do you have an estimate of how much we've saved now, from more than just the basement? Or is there?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Because we still have a lot of light bulbs to count, and we're also...
That's still a lot, though. Yeah.
Besides the light bulbs, we're also going to be changing the fixtures that the light bulbs go into with more up-to-date, energy-efficient ones.
That's amazing. What's the difference between LED light bulbs and the ones that we've been using as of current, the fluorescent?
Good question. Okay, so basically the difference is that the fluorescent bulbs, the energy that they kind of take to produce light is a lot more for kind of the output of light that you get.
Mm-hmm.
That, I don't know if I'm explaining it.
No. Yeah.
And essentially, LED lights are just more efficient. So if you can just equate LED with efficiency, kind of it takes less energy and produces more light instead of taking more energy and producing less light.
Yeah, and just an example of how different they are the fluorescent lights that we have currently have a lifespan of around 25 to 30,000 hours of being on, and the LED lights that we'll be getting are an average life of 50 to 60,000 hours. So it's pretty much going to double. As well, fluorescent lights contain mercury, which is really bad for the environment if disposed of improperly, which most of the time it is. So the LED lights eliminate that.
So how did you guys start this campaign to replace the fluorescent lights with LED light bulbs? How did you guys, go about proposing this idea, and how did it end up turning into a reality?
Yeah, so basically, Nadav proposed the idea. I was 100% on board with it. And essentially what followed was funding. How are we going to actually fund this venture? And
Meeting with Dr. Jones.
And meeting with Dr. Jones. So once we met with Dr. Jones, kind of was given the go-ahead, we essentially researched different grants and ways of funding that we could kind of procure. And we eventually landed on one by Pepco, which is kind of amazing. They will fund 80% of the LED kind of switch out that we do, and we only have to cover 20% of it. We've met with the LED light bulb supplier from the new addition that is being built on BCC, and fun fact, all of the lights in that new addition are going to be LED. Very excited. But yeah, we met with her, and she is on board with the proposal. So hopefully we'll be able to send that in and do the rebate program.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I didn't know if you guys were passing. Okay, so how can other students at BCC kind of get involved with this movement to be more energy efficient or help the environment?
Well, first of all, you could help fund the project. We'll be having a fundraiser at Chipotle on November 29th from 5 to 9, so come out, get some good food, support the project. But besides that, there's tons of just little things that you can do in your everyday life. I mean, turning off all the lights whenever you're leaving the house, whenever you're not using a room, turn the lights off, packing trash-free lunches, trying to drive a little less or carpool. There's endless like little things. People don't realize how much these little things add up. That just like maybe not using a plastic bag for your chips, maybe getting a reusable one that you can. All right, yeah.
No, that's good. That's good. That's good.
That was great. Yeah, exactly. It's the little things.
Little things. So what do you guys have next on your plate? What are you going to try and do next with this project? And where is it going in the future?
Well,
or not even with this project. What do you guys have in mind for the future?
I mean, well, this is a pretty big project that we're doing right now. So right now we're just trying to focus on that, and it's still in the preliminary stages. So we're going to have to keep on working on this, and especially now that we're doing a lot more than initially anticipated, it's just going to take a lot more work. So for now, this is kind of what we're focusing on. But there is, from the other members of the green team of the leadership, there's trail cleanups every Saturday. So keep an eye out for those.
Yeah, I'd also say to put in a plug for the IB Anthro class, MOCAT. They've contacted the leadership class, and so the green team and all of the other teams within the leadership class will be most likely holding exhibits at MOCAT, and so keep an eye out for one from the green team.
All right, so do you guys have anything you'd like to say to BCC?
Recycle?
Yeah. Recycle. Save the polar bears. And
All right.
Flamingos.
Great. Well, you guys are our Flag Barons of November, so congratulations. It's been great talking to you guys. And back to you, Jane Abbey.